Oh my god, it's upside down. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video with me, Alyssa J. Today I am doing my bi-monthly reading wrap-up and I might do my TBR in this video. I'm not sure if it will be too long or if I'll just stop after I finish talking about all the books I read, because I read quite a few books, a lot of books for me. My goal for this year is to read 4 fiction books every 2 months and 1 non-fiction book, and I kind of met the goal, kind of, sort of. I'm filming this video about 2 days before March, so I'm hoping that I can finish my non-fiction book in these last 2 days, but we'll see. I don't really want to rush this book because I really am liking it and I want to, you know, I'll talk about it more when I get to it, but that's just my goals and I kind of almost met them. I definitely met the fiction goal, but for the non-fiction, kind of, sort of, maybe. So to start off, I'm actually gonna talk about a book that I finished in December, which is oops, but oh well, I read it. So this is Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody, and I finished this. I started it on December 17th and I finished it on December 30th, and I really love this book. I gave it a 5 stars. I really recommend it if you're looking for something different and fun, and the setting is amazing. It's a carnival, so like I felt like I was there, which is obviously the goal of any book, but it was really I was really immersed in the story and the characters, and just it was amazing, and it was really different from a lot of the other books that I am reading right now and have read, so I really loved it, and it was a great book to end my 2017, I guess, because it was the last book I read in 2017. So I highly recommend it. It was really good. I especially loved the main character. She was really nice. The magic confused me a little bit, but that was fine. Like, it didn't really take away from the story for me. I figured it out eventually, but in the beginning I was a tiny bit confused, but you know, it's fine. I still gave this book 5 stars because I love it and it is really good. I think her next book, Ace of Shades, I cannot wait for that to come out. Oh my gosh, guys, I am so excited. So I'm gonna mark the date in my calendar whenever it's coming out. I'm going to be pre-ordering. I'm gonna be ready for it. So the first book I read in 2018 in January was Because You Love to Hate Me, and it's by a collection of authors edited by Amory, and it's with a bunch of YouTubers and authors together. And I gave this book a 3 stars. Maybe short stories just aren't for me, but I didn't really enjoy this. It wasn't my cup of tea, I guess. The stories were interesting, but really confusing for me. I don't know, I just didn't really, there wasn't enough there for me to really get into it, and I felt like some of them were too big to be fit into short stories. Like, I could see them as a whole novel, but just as a short story, it was kind of like we were shoving a lot in there, and it just wasn't working for me. And sometimes I tried to, there's like the prompt and the story, and sometimes I just got so fed up I would just skip to the like prompt to see what it was actually supposed to be about, and then I don't know, it just wasn't for me. They're written amazing. Like, my favorite, wait, let me check which one was my favorite. So my 2 favorites, well, I really loved Shirley and Jim by Susan Dennard because, of course, I love Sherlock Holmes. It's amazing. Can you tell? But it was really good, and I loved it, and it was hilarious. And I also liked Gwen and Art and Lance by Soman Chinani. I'm really sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce that author's name. I'm so sorry. As we know from all of my videos, I can never pronounce anything ever, so that was really good. So that one was, the prompts was from Samantha Lane, Thoughts on Tomes, and then the one about Shirley and Jim was from, the prompt was by Sasha Alsberg from A Book Utopia. So those 2 were my favorites, and I'm not gonna talk about my least favorite, but my least favorites, but I was just confused for some of them. Those 2 were really funny, and I really loved them a lot. They were really good, but overall I gave it 3 stars because it didn't click for me. I didn't really love it. It was kind of just average. I feel so mean. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the last book I finished on January 3rd, and then this next book that I am talking about I finished on January 18th, and it is The Crowns Game by Evelyn Skies, I believe the author's name is. I will put the image here of the book. Because I listened to the audiobook. I listened to it with my mom on the way to and from school and just places, and I've been meaning to do that. Like, I found that was really good to get to read books, or to, well, I consider it reading or listening to a book, so I found that was a really good way for me to consume the story, because I don't always have time or have the physical book with me, so it was a great way to fill up our time, and I really want to keep on doing that, but I've just been kind of forgetting. And we started the City of Bones. I have all the books here, but we started the audiobook, but we just didn't stick with it because we just started talking. I don't know. I want to try to get back into reading them in the car more, because I really like audiobooks because they're just really fun and they're different, and yeah, it's like reading a book but someone's reading it to you, so it's awesome. Back to the book. It was really good. I gave it a 4 stars. Some parts were a little bit slow. I didn't love the romance aspect to it, or the kind of romance. I didn't love that. I really was interested in the Crowns Game and what was happening, and the main character was a tiny bit whiny sometimes, just a little tiny bit, but overall I really liked the setting, and it was really cool being in Russia, and I really liked it, so I give it a 4 stars. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't super duper amazing, but it was entertaining and I liked it. The next book I read in January was Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo, and I finished this on January 22nd, I believe, yes. Oh my god, it's upside down! It was, well, I gave it a 4 stars overall because it was really entertaining once I got into it. So I started this book and it literally took me 2 or 3 weeks to finish the first like 4 chapters, and it was going so slowly, and I was like, I really wanted to stop reading and just move on, but I couldn't because I love Wonder Woman and I loved the whole idea behind it, and the blurb awesome, so I knew I wanted to read it, but it just wasn't going as well as I was hoping, and it was just kind of slow. I couldn't fully immerse myself in it. I don't know. I really tried. I tried. And then suddenly I just finished it in 2 days. Like, I read it one night. I picked it up and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to read this again. And then I read for the rest of the night and I didn't do my homework. Oops, but you know, it's okay. It's all good. And then the next morning I read it, and then I had it with me at school, and I read it after lunch, and then I came in the car, I was finishing it, and I finished it. It was like so quick that I finished the rest of the book after that first 4 chapters or something. And it was awesome, but the reason why I didn't give it 5 stars was just because it took me so long to get into the book, and that was the main reason. But I loved the writing and Leigh Bardugo's style. I really want to read more from her. I don't know what else she's written. I think I have another 6 of Crows maybe that she wrote. I'm not sure, but I know that I want to read more from her because I really love her writing style. I loved the diversity in this book and all of the different characters. I loved Aaliyah. She was so quirky and fun. The plot twist really was a twist for me. I was not expecting it at all, and if you've read this, you know what the plot twist is, or at least I thought it was a plot twist. I did not see it coming. Maybe some people did, but I was just, wow. It came out of nowhere. It left me heartbroken and sad, and it was just amazing. I wish there was like a second book in this, but it's not a series because it's just one book, but I wish there was more because I want more from these characters, but I doubt there will be any. And I really want to read, I think Batman. I think Marie Lu wrote Batman with like this whole like comic book thing series turning into, oh, superhero icons meet megastar authors, so the DC icons thing. I really want to read that one too because if it's as good as this one, Like, I know I just gotta get through those 4 first chapters. But yeah, overall I gave this a 4 stars. Next I have Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, and this book I finished at the end of January, like January 30th, around then. Most of my books I read in January. I don't know, it was a great reading month for me. I got a lot of reading in. I had more time, I guess. It was just a really productive month, January. Little side note, January was really productive and I was just like go, 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 and then I got to February and it was just like, ugh. I felt like I was like burnt out. It was just not going well. I'm hoping, I'm trying to take these last days of February to kind of like get myself back together, and I'm hoping that I'll go into March with like a new mindset and a fresh outlook on things, and hopefully my reading will go better and my just overall how I feel, because I was kind of down in February and it was just not the best month, and especially for my reading, as you will see soon. And this is one of the, yeah, I didn't read that many books in February, but it's okay because January made up for it. January I got a bunch of reading in, because for me this is a ton of books. I read 4 books in January, yes, because Daughter of the Burning City I read in December, but like I counted as January really because I don't know. I like to think I started my year off with a good note, but I started off with the anthology and it was not that good, so we'll just say I started off with Daughter of the Burning City, you know. So Turtles All the Way Down I gave 3.5/4 stars. I didn't love it as much as a lot of other people do. I don't know. I found it really interesting to look at the main character, or to read about the main character, and the story was interesting, but I just didn't love it. It's not like I'm not gonna be rereading. Maybe I'll reread it and see if I can get more out of it, but I don't know. It just wasn't as awesome as I was hoping, because I've heard a lot of amazing things and like how people love it so much, but for me we didn't click, me and the book. So it was better than like my average read, so I gave it like a 4 stars, 3.5, around there. Yeah, so the first and last book I finished in February was Bookish Boyfriends by Tiffany Schmidt, and this is an ARC that I received from Commander Group, and I loved this book so much. Like, if there was one book I had to read in February, this is the one I'm very happy that I read, because it was hilarious. I started it on February 10th and I finished it on February 10th. Like, I flew through this book in an afternoon and I could not put it down. This is in no way a short book, guys. This is like, many pages? This is like 380 pages, and I just flew through it. It was hilarious. It wasn't like super deep or anything like that. It was like a fun, happy read that I just needed to pick me up in a dreary month, I guess. So this is really amazing. It is coming out in May of 2018, and I hope you guys go pick it up. I will, of course, all of these books will be linked down below. So I really enjoyed this book, and I think a lot of you will too, because it was a fun read. And Bookish Boyfriends, who doesn't want to read about a girl who goes, I'll tell you a little bit about this about the summary, which I didn't do for the rest of the books, which, oops, but you can read this thing on Goodreads. So basically there's this girl, and her name is Marilee, and she's 15 years old, and she thinks that like romance and like chivalry is dead, and then she goes to this high school, and there's, you know, you'll find out when you read it. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys because it's just so good, and I went into this, I don't even know if I read all of the back cover, and it's amazing. And just go read it, because if you want some laughs and a good female friendship, oh my gosh, they're adorable. They're quirky and fun, and it's just amazing. One of the characters reminded me a lot of Aaliyah from Wonder Woman. I don't know, side note there, but she did. So this book is really good, and I really recommend it. I gave it a 5 stars. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, I feel like you got that from my review or my mini review wrap-up thing. So this book is Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, and I started it in the middle of February-ish, I want to say, maybe. And I'm at page 150, and there's 200 pages, so I have a couple days of February left, so I'm hoping I can finish these last few pages, but I don't want to rush through this book because it's really good and really interesting, and I'm learning a lot from it. Oh my gosh, I'm highlighting and writing in it and stuff. I know people don't like when you write in your books or whatever, I don't know, but I am writing all over this book because I think it is really important and something that I'm probably going to come back to in a couple years and read it again and write more notes, and just, it's something that I want to come back to, and I don't have the dust jacket thing on it, but just appreciate this pretty red book. But it's really good, and I really recommend that you read it because it has some amazing insights and advice, and just Sheryl Sandberg is an amazing person, and I really love reading her thoughts and things that she has to share. So fingers crossed that I finish this in February and I can count it as all of my goals accomplished, because I did read 4+ fiction books, and hopefully I can finish this nonfiction. Fingers crossed. At the rate that I am going with this book and how much I am enjoying it and loving everything, I am anticipating that I will be giving this a 5 stars, if you can already tell. But yeah, so that's pretty much my wrap up. So now let's talk about my TBR for the next 2 months. The first 2 books are Passenger and Wayfarer. I'm pretty sure Passenger is the first book and Wayfarer is the second, but I'm not really sure, so I'll have to figure that out before I read these. But I'm gonna read it after I finish Lean In, so I don't know which one I'll read, or if I'll pick up these or one of the other ones I have. But these are by Alexandra Bracken, and I've been really good with sticking to my TBR. I don't know. I think I picked my books out really well and tried to pick a bunch of different types of books. So hopefully I get to these, because I think I'm really going to enjoy them, because I've heard amazing things, and the blurb really intrigues me, so I want to try reading those. Next, I have Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Yes, Stephanie Garber. And I do not know anything about this book. Like, I barely know anything. When I bought it and when I did my haul, I read the inside cover, but since then I haven't looked at it, so I don't really remember, and I want to go into this not really knowing anything. I am very, very excited because I remember that I really liked the blurb for this as well, so I'm looking forward to it. Next, I have Warcross by Mary Liu, I believe. Yes, Mary Liu. I'm so bad with authors' names. I'm probably pronouncing all of these wrong. I'm sorry. But it has a lot of action, and it's really fast-paced, I've heard, and that is something I need. So I am looking forward to delving into this book. And look at this gorgeous cover, guys. Like, isn't this cover just, like, gorgeous? Like, it's very pretty. So those were my fiction books, but for my nonfiction, I want to read You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, and I don't know how to pronounce any of these. I am sorry. But the back says, Catch the Wave of Badassery. And I just think it's really cool, and I've heard great things. And since it has red pages, I definitely have to read it right now. No, but I've heard that it is really good. A lot of people really love it and say it has changed their lives, so I'm ready for it to change my life. So those are all the books. Now I have to somehow hold a bunch of these and take a photo for the thumbnail. Wish me luck. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.